Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 11, episode... Gosh, what episode is this? Is it episode 17? It is episode 17. So, wow, we've got drama starting at the end of the season. I guess that makes for a good reunion. I guess they're guaranteeing that we will get that since people been complaining about the season being boring. I've been fine with the season. Okay, they ain't had to drum up all this drama at the end, but you know, I guess like I said, good TV, good ratings. Put people to work what they work for, what you on the show for if you ain't causing some sort of havoc. So anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? So we see Candy. She is waiting. She's about to have lunch with somebody. And child, when I saw Portia walk up, I said, well, look at this. Okay. And that Portia was so cute. Okay. I know it was a little risque for a pregnant woman, but it was sexy. And I still felt like everything was covered. Okay. Even though her titties are real jubulous and, you know, full and a whole bunch. And some people will say it wasn't appropriate. I thought she was so cute. I was like, girl, you better work it in that dress. Anyway, when she walks up, Candy was just like, oh, look at you. You still got your sexy dress on from the other night. Oh, girl, look at how they beat me down. What? Who? I had to get my blood drawn to get some blood work. Oh, okay, girl. I thought you was talking about from the other night. They both fall out laughing. It is so strange to see Portia and Candy sitting together, and actually there is no problem. Okay, I had to regroup. And then, child, if that wasn't enough, here come Marlo. I said, child, if this ain't progress, I know something. We're gonna give him a bravo. Bravo for bravo. Okay? Child, I never thought it would be the day when I saw these three sit down together. So once Marlo sits down, they're like, so are you good from, you know, the other night? Did you end up spending the night there? You know, did you change your clothes? You know, and Marlo was like, yeah, I was fine. Yeah, I didn't spend the night there. I did go home. Okay, so we're assuming they're talking about Nene's, you know, the wig snatch party that she had. By wig, I think it was called. Then it jumps over to Eva. Eva is at home and she's cleaning up some glitter and shit on her floor. First I thought I was like, now did she have a party? Okay, because I'm assuming they was talking about Nene's, and they were. Okay, the glitter was from Eva trying on her wedding dress and shit. Okay, so anyway, there's a knock at her door and it's Shamari. All right, and Shamari comes as up, you got to go and apologize, you know. So she's apologizing to Eva. It just had been a long time since she drank like that and, you know, was able to let loose. And Eva was like, girl, I'm telling you, after you have a baby, you know, your tolerance level is not as high as it had been. So shit affects you real. Child, when they were showing them the clips from the week before, and that damn Shamari was dancing on that couch, and she just turned around, and she was having a good time. I was laughing so hard. I wish they would have just shown all Shamari last week. I would have been just fine with it. But there's another knock at the door, and it's Tanya. Okay, and Tanya comes in, and she was just like, oh my God, Shamari, first of all, I love you so much. We are soul sisters now because I cleaned up your puke. And Shamari was like, oh girl, you did? Yeah, yep. I cleaned up your puke. Actually, I cleaned your puke up off of Eva's leg. So Tanya is the one that takes care of the girls when they go out. You always need one, trust me. Somebody that can keep it together. Shamari says, yeah, she apologizes. She's sorry, you know, she was cutting up, she was just having a good time. Got away from her. But enough about that. What happened to, you know, what happened at the party after she left? Oh, girl. Well, Candy and Portia went into Nene's closet after she had said it about 10 times, don't go in there, okay? And they just couldn't understand why they were still, you know, proceeding on after Nene just kept saying over and over and over, do not go in my closet, bitch, get out of my closet. But back at lunch with Candy and Portia and Marlo, you know, Candy was just like, I just thought that we was playing. And I'm still confused as to when the laughter turned into rage. Now, I just thought that Nene just was going off on the cameramen. You know, we did see that much. Her about to pull the shirt off of one of them going up in there. But from this conversation, I'm starting to realize that a little bit more went down that we did not see. We have heard about it, but we didn't see it. They're telling Marlo how Nene was tripping and how she was coming directly at them. You know, she was fussing at them. She was all up in their face and everything. And Marlo was just like, really? I don't remember that. Marlo clearly is making sure that she covers her girl's ass. Portia was just like, you damn sure remember that because you was right up in the middle of it. You ain't Dory, bitch. And then they start talking about some green belt. All right. And the producers asked Portia about this belt. And Portia was just like, I'm just not talking about the belt because if I do, our relationship will be ruined. I still don't really know what happened with this green belt. Candy said that Nene and her was over there fussling and fumbling with this belt. And evidently Portia felt even unsafe. You know, I'm pregnant, so you know, I can't even really fend for myself, but I was really just over it. I was nervous. You know, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, well, girl, you good thing you did have a baby in your belly. You might have fucked Nene up, huh? No, we're not going to get into that kind of fight, but I still can't believe, like, what was Nene going through that she was tussling with Portia? Okay, to the point where everybody was just like, because the way that they were speaking, they really was looking concerned, like the shit was crazy. And again, Marlo, really? I don't remember that. Candy says, you know, but she did text Nene afterwards and just said, you know, well, I didn't mean to cause you any more hurt than you was already experiencing. Now, Portia was just like, well, damn, I thought we had already talked about the fact that we was going to try to figure out how we should approach her and then, you know, possibly talk to her after that. Now Candy done covered her ass and now Portia's just like, well, I guess I need to talk to her too. Marlo does say though, you know, I couldn't understand why she was talking to me like that. Like, I'm concerned and you're talking to me like that in front of all these girls. Back at Eva's, she's telling Tanya and Shamari that even with all of the issues that Marlo brought forth to the table and how, you know, she was upset somewhat. She wasn't really upset with Nene. She was just trying to, you know, explain what had happened. But Eva saw it sort of as Marlo, you know, not being sympathetic towards Nene, and that, you know, she needed to put all the issues aside to just be there for Nene. And I was just like, okay, Eva. Now I know you're gonna have to choose a side. You know, whoever is the most powerful in the show, and you obviously have clearly chosen Nene because it was fucking ridiculous how Nene was acting. I don't give a fuck how many issues there were that we needed to put aside. Okay, and again, Marlo did not act the way she could have acted, the way she normally acts with everybody else. She definitely gave Nene some slack. So I was listening to Eva and I was just like, okay, girl, cover that ass. That's clear what you doing. But enough about that. At the Portia and Candy and Marlo table, Candy wants to know if Portia is coming to the dungeon party. And Portia is just like, no, I don't think I'll be there. It's a whole bunch of people and 3 of them might not like me. Okay, that would be Don Juan, Karma, and old girl who supposedly knows Portia's man's ex. And Candy says, well, I guess it would be weird for her to come to the dungeon party considering that she inspired it. If we don't know anything else about Candy, she definitely knows how to turn lemons into lemonade, huh? All right, get back friends with Portia and figure out how you can make money off of it. I ain't mad. And it was cool to see all 3 of them sitting together again. It did my heart good. Later on, we see Cynthia and Eva. They're going to get a colonic. Cleansing Waters is the name of the place, and one of Eva's besties is also with them. Eva said that she's trying to naturally snatch in her waist, okay, and evidently colonics take some inches off. Anyways, they get to talking about Cynthia's wedding and how much of a disaster it was, at least financially, and they show clips of her when she was trying to get, her and Peter, and I was just like, ooh, y'all so bad. Why y'all gotta keep on besmirchifying this man's name? Hell, he just got out of jail. He got enough fucking problems. Eva tells her how she's over her budget of $85,000, you know, with another $50,000 on top of it. However, she worked hard. She did whatever the hell she had to do. Okay, she paid cash, all right, for her wedding. She don't owe nobody shit. Okay, she can enjoy herself on her wedding day. So good for Miss Eva. Okay, then we start talking about Nene's party. And, you know, Cynthia. Now, Cynthia is, she definitely is Nene's ride or die, right? Cynthia just basically says that Nene's so pissed she ain't talking to none of them. And that the invasion of privacy was the straw that broke the camel's back. I honestly was trying to figure out why she was so upset. Okay, yeah, that would have pissed me off at the time, but you still mad after this? But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. You know, some people clarified for me why it got to this point. Anyway, the Colonics. So they go into place, you know, they sitting there. Just the idea grosses me out. Like, remember I told you that I don't have the stomach for that kind of shit? I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to see you in the process of it, you know. Cynthia seemed to be quite excited about it, said it felt good and something's up your ass way. But I didn't even pay too much attention. I saw her FaceTiming her man and her and Eva FaceTiming back and forth and joking back and forth. But as soon as they showed like the tube down there and it was a shadow of brown, I was like, okay, that was enough for me. Okay, but glad you got your ass cleaned out. Now we jump over to Shamari and Ron, and he's telling her how he's got to leave tonight for the tour. She's like, damn. Okay, she just had her man there for a little bit of time, and now he got to go again, honey. These bills ain't paying they sales. Okay, although next season she make it back on the show, which I believe she will. Okay, that check ought to be looking better. All right, but Shamari, her whole thing is she got to make sure that somebody is there, a parent, you know, to parent the children. So she gladly stays behind and takes care of them. Now, this party, you know, that she had to get carried home by her friends and, you know, in an outfit that she didn't leave the house in. Nigga, that's a good time when you come up with some jeans and a t-shirt, okay? Ron wants to talk to her about it. She brings up the dungeon party and how she's gonna have this song with Candy. You know, she's all excited about it. You know, and she wants him to come for the rehearsal. And she wants him to come for, you know, the show. And he says just for a little bit because he's going to have to leave and all of that. But like I said, she said it's going to be a good time. He says, oh, yeah, like you had at Nene's. Okay, so yeah, let's discuss this. She was like, well, you know, I was talking to Tanya and Eva, and they told me that I was snatching Tanya's coochie and biting Eva's boob. And Ron was just like, Shamari. He was so disgusted. He was just like, listen to me the way I'm talking to you right now. I want you to understand when you do stuff like that, then you drink it and it leads to some other shit that can cause problems. And then the next thing you know, we separate. She was just like, oh no, we're not going to separate, boo, because even if I was, you know, a little sexual, you're the only person that I want to have sex with, that I want to be with. But she says that she is not out here to try to embarrass him, their relationship, their family. So she promises that, you know, she'll scale it on back a little bit. Bitch, if you're gonna get drunk like that, please don't do it in front of the cameras. That's all we saying. Okay, because I'm sure Ronnie knows his wife by now. Shamari promises she's going to watch herself. And then back at Portia's, we see her, she's talking to somebody about, I guess her assistant, about her gender reveal. And then I just want like a marching band to come out, you know, and the marching band come out, and then, you know, they start playing, and then they turn up real big, and then they start playing, and then, you know, that's when we gonna find out if it's a boy or a girl. The guy says, well, you know what, no, I thought differently. You know, we'll have like the cheerleaders, and they'll have the signs that say, you know, what it is. And she was just like, well, that's not enough fanfare for her. And he says, oh no, don't worry about it. They gonna have the cannon, the confetti cannons, and they gonna shoot it up in the air. It's gonna be a whole big deal. Oh, okay, that sounds better. Okay, she's excited about this gender reveal. Dennis is not. He did not want to let anybody know what the baby was until they had it. Okay, but nothing doing. Portia's having this damn gender reveal. So she's sitting there talking to her sister about that. She's saying how it's gonna be a good time. She gonna invite everybody. She don't give a damn. That means Candy. Hell, if she feel good enough, she might invite that old hating ass Don Juan and Karma. Bring the candy coated click too. do shit, so she said she even gonna invite Nene, even though they hit a little snag, at her bi-wig party. The sister was like, oh, y'all did? Dang, you guys was going so smoothly. Everything was going so well. Like, what happened? So Portia starts to tell her what happened at the party. Of course, she still leaves out the part about the green belt and all of that. But, she says, and so I did send her a text message, and I said, I don't want us to be in a bad place, and I love you, and I'm sorry. Because Portia's whole thing is, I think Portia and Candy both realized that they started this, okay? They did go in there. Yes, Nene did say don't go in there, and they kept on going. But like they said earlier, they thought that they was all playing around. If they had realized how serious Nene was, and even I didn't feel like Nene was all that serious until the camera started going that way. But I think they realized that they did start it, but they didn't intend for Nene to be as upset. They didn't intend for her to be upset at all. Debbie, y'all know my researcher. She sent me a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was just like, just tell me what it said. It was Candy's, she said that Candy did admit that she took the blame for starting it. But again, like, she didn't realize that it was going to go that way and that Nene would get so upset. So Portia says if she just has to take the L on this one, and take the blame, she will, because she don't want no mess. Okay, everything's been going so well. She's not trying to stir the waters with Nene anymore. So her whole thing is she's gonna stay out of her way until Nene decides to reach out again. Now, Candy's rehearsal. We see her running through with the choreography with the dancers and the choreographer, and it looks like it's officially going down. Shamari shows up with Ron. He's gonna check out what they got going, I guess, before he goes on his little tour. And Candy gonna say, I think it's so funny how everybody thinks that it's a sex show. Well, what the fuck is it? This is not quite the the burlesque show that we used to in Paris, is it? I mean, I've never been to one, so I'm not sure exactly what goes down. But I've always thought burlesque show was risque dancing and costuming. Okay, nigga, this was low key pornographic. I was uncomfortable even watching the shit on TV. So it is a sex show. Yeah, it's a sex show. Candy says that when Shamari is asking her about it, she's like, it's not going to be like back-to-back performances. It's going to be like a variety show. And in between the performances, they're going to have people up there and they're going to be talking sexy stories and even tell you how you can change up in the bedroom, So yeah, it's going to be all of that. Candy has the vision in her head, y'all. If you're going to bring the dungeon, then you have to bring the sexy. So she's practicing, okay? And we kind of run through Shamari and Candy's song together. It was cute enough. Then Cynthia shows up, okay, with #chill, and I was just like, oh God, is this gonna be another uncomfortable? Okay, because I know I don't need to see you doing nothing sexy with #chill in the room. Like, oh God, what is this about to be? All right, so when she goes in there and she's just wanting to know, like, what's her direction? What is she supposed to be doing? She asked Candy, am I gonna kiss you? And Candy was just like, well, I don't know. Do you want to kiss me? #chill was like, well, maybe I need to stay in town. Shit, no, take your ass on back to LA. Trust me, you don't want to see this. It was already hard enough on TV. I could imagine in person what it would have been. Now, back with Eva. She goes to pick up her huge wedding reception dress. That's right, you guys. It's finally over. She's able to pick out a dress, and she is excited. She has her mom with her. She has, some of her close friends with her. She even has Tiffany. That Tiffany from Clark, Atlanta, okay? The college that she went to that Giovanna swears that she should know her from, okay? Tiffany, who's Giovanna's best friend and Eva's best friend, she's there as well, okay? She's going to try on the bridesmaid's dress, which actually was a very nice looking dress, but it was very, I was expecting it to be something else. It was very traditional and very covered up. Nice though, wine colored, it was winter, it was fall or winter. we was heading towards winter when she got married, so they looked nice. And she puts on the dress, and it was beautiful, and she looked like a princess. And her mom was like, "That is the most beautiful dress that she had ever seen." And that's the reaction you want from your mom. So yeah, good. We done finally tied that up. Let's get married. The day of the dungeon party. They're getting the place together. Candy is really impressed. She's walking around the theater. She's seeing everything. It's finally coming into fruition. "I really want to take this show on the road." I said, Candy. Now, did we not learn with a mother's love? Okay. Yeah, you want to take it on the road because that shit was so successful. That shit was a disaster. Maybe we need to just kind of crawl before we walk. You know, Candy loved to jump in head first. But that mother's love was a mess. So let's, maybe it take a little bit more than just taking a concept on the road. You have really got to have road managers and people that are used to being on the... Get with Tyler Perry people and see if he can help you out. Shamari gets there. And Shamari tells us that she has lost her voice. Okay, she cannot sing. Okay, everything is like this. This girl has been singing everywhere, singing her butt off. But on the day that matters, she can't sing. I mean, come on. So yeah, Shamari had on her big day, she has let Candy down. All right, but whatever. The show must go on. We gonna figure that shit out some kind of which way. Cynthia shows up. She says she's still lost. She don't really know what she's supposed to do, but she's there and she is ready to support Candy. Now we get the next issue, hair and makeup. Candy is like, the show's about to start soon. Like, we need to get into hair and makeup. Well, Don Juan and the choreographer or maybe the stage manager or whatever, they're like, we have got to run through the show. Candy was like, but we don't have time. Okay, Candy says it's an hour left before the show. And I was like, what the fuck y'all been doing all day? And who does a show and don't do a run through? You know, Don Juan was like, well, we don't have to do a run through, but it would behoove you to. Oh, Candy ain't got time for all these little incidentals. And I was like, see, that's exactly why. Maybe you don't need to take the shit on the road just yet. Who does that? It don't have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, but that definitely should have been worked in. Candy says, yesterday they did a run through, but everybody was working separately. So they had like one group do this and one group do that. I understand that Candy is busy. All right, and she got other shit that she got to tend to, but you have got to put somebody in place to get that shit together. You can't have a show without no run through. Okay, I mean, I guess they was just like, fuck it, we gonna get up there, we gonna talk about fucking, and then we gonna close it up, it's gonna be fine. And I mean, I guess it was. So Candy said, don't tell me what to do in my field, okay? I'm all about fucking, I know what I'm talking about. Y'all want to do something else, then y'all do that. Okay, I got this. I'm the daddy. I love that little boy. Anyway, they go in the back room. They all getting ready. It's coming. It's happening. Candy's getting dressed. The energy is high. Cynthia still, again, she don't know what she's supposed to be doing. Candy said, I purposely didn't tell Cynthia what she was going to do because I wanted the reactions to be real. Okay. Ooh, child. I mean, I guess I'm glad you didn't tell her because I wouldn't have showed up for that shit if I was her. But, okay. We getting dressed. It's about to be showtime. Todd was like, somebody gonna be getting pregnant tonight. I said, I don't know how. It looked like it was 80% bitches there. And, it looked like it was way more women than men. And I don't know if everybody was straight or gay or what it could have been, but definitely looked like it was mostly women. So not necessarily anybody getting pregnant, but probably some kitty clicking around there. So we get out there on the stage, and Shamari and Candy do their song together. Shamari was like, I'm hoping that nobody realizes that we lip syncing. I don't think anybody even really cared. They probably expected them to lip sync anyway. Then it comes to be Cynthia's part. And child, when I tell you, this was the most I was like, this is... I mean, I hope Cynthia was fucked up because it really ain't no way I could have... I was just like, oh, okay. All right, I got kids now. My daughter and son would have been so upset with me if I had done something like that. I mean, they would have been like, Mom, like, really? This is really what you doing? Like, no. That Cynthia got out there. She had her little, her bondage lingerie or whatever, whatnots on. She looked nice. Candy, she came in front of her, and she had her microphone and she went and got in between Cynthia's legs and she was just like, so what are you? And Cynthia was like, oh, okay, let me get in the zone, you could tell. And she was just like, I am so beep, 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 beep. Okay? And everybody that was in the audience, which was like, from the show, Marlo, Tanya, all them back there, they was just like, oh my God. Marlo was just like, this is way too much for me. And I was right there with him. I don't have a problem with sexy shit. I don't have a problem with strippers, going to the strip club, any of that. But something about the fact that they are friends and, Cynthia corny and Candy is oversexed and all of them being up there, I was just like, oh God. And even Candy tells us, I had more planned for Cynthia, but, she just so innocent to me. Thank you for going light on Cynthia. Now, they all go backstage. Well, not Candy. She's got a show to do. But the rest of the girls are backstage. Here come Marlo. She got her little devil's outfit on. But she was just like, I'm going to whip you. You've been bad. I'm going to whip you. Talking to Cynthia. Marlo said that Candy refused to have her in the show because she was too extra. All right. Yeah, you can't really control Marlo. But that was not the scene for Marlo anyway. Not if she was the way she was in the audience. Marlo also has a word for Shamari. She tells her that, you got a drinking problem and you need to handle that. Okay. And Tanya, oh my God, don't tell her that. Okay, you're a mean girl. Get on down there. Get on down there. She pushes Marlo. Marlo's like, bitch, don't you ever push me down on this ground, on this dirty floor. I'll hit you in your ugly ass wig. Oh shit, but Marlo gets back up on that thing and she's like, no, for real. You got a drinking problem. You need to handle that. I was like, I don't think she has a drinking problem. We don't have proof that she has a drinking problem. Did she drink too much that day? Yeah, probably so. Okay. But just because you let loose every now and again does not say that you have a drinking problem. And people who never let loose or never get caught letting loose like that always want to say somebody else has a drinking problem, but I don't. That doesn't mean that she did. Shamari can't even speak, so she can't speak for herself. But Shamari has Tanya as her interpreter. Okay, Tanya's like, don't be telling her that she's a alcoholic, that she has a drinking problem. She is a mother of twins and she doesn't get to go out as much, and she just went out and had a good time and drank too much that one time. So Marlo don't care. She definitely got a drinking problem as far as Marlo is concerned. As far as the dungeon, Candy is glad that it was a success. I was able to take a negative and turn it into a positive. She took that whole drama with Portia, flipped it around, and now people not even thinking about it no more. Now they thinking about this. Dungeon party. Now, I just wanted to talk about the fact that Nene was so upset and that she didn't come to the dungeon party because she was mad about them going into her closet. Now, Candy said on that thing that I told you that Debbie sent me, Candy supposedly said that her closet was fine. It wasn't dirty. I was just like, oh, okay, if you say so. She ain't had no bloomers back there with old period stains washed and clean, hanging up. It was just the point. But evidently, because Nene was pulling and tugging at Portia with this belt, they say that she was suspended one show. Now, you guys do realize that she was not on this episode at all. I didn't even realize it, okay? Hadn't even paid any attention to it until on Twitter people started saying, yeah, she wasn't in the episode at all. Did you notice? Because they fined her. They cut her from one show and she had to give up some money from that, okay? So that is the reason why Nene now is so upset. I honestly was just like, girl, what is she so upset about? But she mad about that. But the whole thing is, you can't be putting your hands on people. And first of all, you should be glad that they didn't show it, because had it been anybody else, they would have showed all that shit that was going on. But they didn't show that because it was Nene. However, they went on and supposedly cut her from the show for that one episode, and I guess she just, you know, was so upset that Bravo had the nerve and the gall to cut the king, Nene, from the show. So that's why now they're saying at the reunion, Nene had unfollowed everybody, and even Andy. Okay, Andy got a kick out of it on Watch What Happens Live. Did you guys see that? I never watch it, but it just so happened to come right on after Married to Medicine LA. And he was laughing at the fact that Nene had unfollowed him on IG. He don't give a fuck, Nene. You guys are his work friends. Okay, his real friends is Kelly Ripa and Andy from CNN. Okay, he don't give a fuck if you mad at him or not, because you know what? He gonna just make his money off the rest of these women, and it don't even really matter. The show will go on. Okay, I'm sure they would love Nene there, but Nene ain't really gotta be there either. Okay, so child, you can unfollow to the cows come home. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. Okay, and he was just laughing and shit with about it, but Cynthia, you know, did you guys see how uncomfortable Cynthia was? I said, ooh, Cynthia, you got unfollowed too? Nene is done with all of them. Okay, this reunion is gonna be something. It probably ain't gonna be nothing, but you know they always got to build it up, so I guess we'll see. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. Jada is supposed to be here any minute. We have to get her prom dress altered, and I'm meeting her at the alteration shop, and she still is not here. She's got 2 minutes. Okay, let me see if she's... All right, you guys, so that's it. I'm doing Married to Medicine LA. It's going to be up after Real Housewives of Atlanta, so you guys make sure you look for that, okay? Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is for It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.